Nigeria's First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, launched a program called the Alternative High School for Girls. The school prioritizes empowering the girl child by providing opportunities to learn, unlearn, and embrace quality education. How significant and far-reaching is this kind of intervention in ensuring access to education for girls?
Okay, so thank you very much. That's a very valuable contribution by the First Lady. In fact, congratulations to her, because over the years she has been very passionate about girl child, about women empowerment. So this is not her first time of focusing on women rights and empowerment. However, there must be synergy between her initiative and that of the entire ecosystem around the federal government. Whatever she's doing must be in line with whatever the Ministry of Women Affairs are doing, because the Ministry of Women Affairs have, linkage and communication with the 36 states of the federation. Then the governors, the Nigerian Governors Forum, also have to buy in. Then the Ministries of Women Affairs across Nigeria also have to buy in, so that the First Lady, giving them that political backing, can help ensure that the resources that have been made available percolates and is distributed nationwide. Because whatever she's doing should not be in isolation of what the steps that the Nigerian Governors Forum are doing, the Ministries of Women Affairs are doing. Because we have so many initiatives around, but this is the first time a First Lady is helping to coordinate. And if she coordinates and give that political capital, that mileage, and speak to governors, particularly in northern Nigeria, because the numbers speaks very clearly that the issues that we have in this country, particularly around women and girl child, is mostly in northern Nigeria. If we have 100%, 70% is in northern Nigeria. So we must reach out. We must reach out. The number of out-of-school children, northern Nigeria. Number of people who are in the streets, children begging for alms, northern Nigeria, basically. And even when you see some of these children begging in southern Nigeria, 70% of them are still from the north. We cannot run away from the reality of things. And that leadership, that political consensus is highly needed at this time to ensure that the numbers that are staggering in our faces and giving us embarrassment at the international level is completely eliminated. But that political leadership is required. So I really want to congratulate the First Lady for giving that leadership, for providing that leadership, and for giving that coverage to ensure that some of these issues are addressed head-on.
Okay. It's saddening to note that most times when some of our political leaders count on the invaluable contributions of women, it's when they want to use them as political tools, probably during the election. Now, you rightly pointed out something that if you look at the small scale businesses, that the involvement of women is huge. Now, absolutely. Shouldn't that be an avenue where government can now zero in and say, okay, we can create intensive economic empowerment for these women, because if a woman is economically empowered, she can cater more for her family. She can cater for herself. She cannot have a voice because she has economic power. So can that be used as a tool, whether it's in the north or in the south?
Okay, so when you are talking of small and medium-scale enterprises, you are looking at access to credit. You are looking at aggregation of people. You are looking at setting up cooperatives. You are looking at the National Social Register. There are different windows that have to be. You see, one thing about Nigeria is that Nigeria has a structure to assist the citizens to live quality life. There are so many initiatives that have been, established over time, from the Obasanjo's regime to the Yaradua to Jonathan, and even right now to the President Tinubu's era. So many initiatives that has to do with social investment. But it's about coordination. It's about, data management. It's about reaching out. It's about that leadership. That management has to be there. So when you're looking at SMEs, we have SMEDAN. We have social protection program. We have social investment program all over Nigeria. So it's about where are the people? Where are the numbers? How do we aggregate? Who is providing leadership? How do we reach out to these people? Are we looking at short term? Are we looking at long term? Or are we looking at the medium term, framework? We must set up that machinery that will, essentially just using all the resources that have been made available across Nigeria to reach out to our people, to ensure that all the initiatives, are actually targeted at the people that are supposed to benefit. But when it is hijacked at the national level, and there's no synergy between the subnationals, which is the states, and the local government, And, by the way, the local government are very significant, but nobody talks about local government anymore in Nigeria. But meanwhile, the local government is supposed to be the closest
To the people.
arm of government to the people. But today, they have been hijacked. Nobody is looking at local government. So the president has to provide that leadership. The Federal Minister of Justice has to provide that legal framework to say that these resources have been made available. It should not be misappropriated. It should not be looted. And we also have to have a result framework that look at monitoring and evaluation, accountability, reporting, to say we have 10 million children that are out of school this year and we want to reduce it in the next 5 years. How do we account for it? Who are the people managing the resources? How do we follow the data? How do we monitor the results? And who do we report to? These are some of the issues. It's not that these things don't exist, but it's about somebody sitting up and providing leadership, providing coordination, so that in the final analysis, some of these policies that have been, expounded at the national level, that structure to ensure that it percolates to the targeted audience is achieved. These are my thoughts.